All right, this is HRM, Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. That's my username on YouTube. My real name is HRM, His Royal Majesty, Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. And that is how I'm listed on the Federal Election Commission. You can check the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, and see that I am listed with them as a presidential candidate, and have been since a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. During those 2 years, I have challenged Obama and whoever the other Republican candidates were, their dual dictatorship, as I call it, their Democrat-Republican dictatorship through the Bilderberg Trilateral Commission and Rich People's Interest, the banks, the International Monetary Fund. They seem to think that they have this symmetry, that their symmetry is correct. And listen, everybody, I know the title on this is Hurricanes and Tornadoes, but I do know how to stop tornadoes. Anyway, they seem to think that their symmetry is so fantastic. They've been in operation, the Bilderberg, since 1954, the Trilateral since 1976 during Carter's administration. These rich people seem to think that their symmetry is so important they'll kill people for it to stay in control freak mode. Well, if their control freak mode is so perfect, okay, why is Romney and Ryan and Obama and Biden and the Democratic Party and the Republican Party always bouncing between the two? When Obama came into office, he said change, and he said he wanted to work unilaterally with the Republicans, but they can't ever work unilaterally because that's the way they've got it planned. You know, remember the idea of good cop, bad cop? You know how they're trying to get a criminal to talk? So one cop pretends to be on the side psychologically. It's a psychological game, good cop, bad cop. So here they are dividing the country again, just like Bush and Gore did. And it's all a game. Trust me. I know what I'm telling you. It really is a game. If any of you really investigate, you'll see that there wouldn't be so much stuff on YouTube if I didn't know what I was talking about. Stuff exactly what I'm talking about. And on top of it, there's so much disinformation. They've piled any of the truth that's on YouTube is also, there's a whole stampede of people behind the people that are telling the truth that are feeding more information. Illuminati and the skull and crossbones and the Masons, and it goes on and on. There's so much disinformation. Nobody can tell what the truth is. So, of course, you've got a divided country. So I watched this convention, the news report the convention, and they talk about how perfect the speeches are and how they're using key words to snag those Republican votes and maybe even Democratic votes. And of course, the Democratic convention will be doing their thing. But the brass tacks to it, the real truth to it is you're being scammed. My first video this morning talked about this. So let's go back and kind of reiterate a little bit about this and get more definite about it. So they've got their speeches, and they're perfectly worded. You know, a big thing today, and this is a big comparative example. The big thing today is going green, being real. The big thing today, and as has been for the last 2 decades, definitely, is buying things organic, being healthy, trying to focus our attentions on those things. Well, it's interesting to note that here the news, which is controlled, is reporting about how Romney's speech tonight will be so perfect and they'll go over and over it again. I'm going, the speeches are so artificial. I dare Romney to get on YouTube and Obama and just let it all hang out. Talk exactly what you want to talk about without thinking that, oh no, I'll appear like a madman and I'll hurt my chances of getting votes. Your chances are already hurt, dummies. 40% of the population, according to statistics, are not going to vote in either of your elections because you're not real. You're fake. It's all a made-up speech just to try to please people. You know, I gotta mention, even though I'm reserved about telling what my beliefs are as far as religion goes, but you know, it reminds me about another comparison. Christ talked about this. The apostles were asking Christ once. They said, "Master, when we pray to God, how do we pray?" And Christ said, "Well, go into your closet and say the Lord's Prayer. because God already knows what you need, okay, not what you want, and God will reward you. If you pray in secret, you'll be rewarded openly. Well, here's a neat one. Christ turns around, he says, "Verily I say to you, the prophets and the holy men there on the street that pray in public, so that people will think, oh, there goes a holy man and there goes a holy woman." He says, verily they have their reward. The praise that people give them. Well, that's exactly what Obama and Romney are doing. Oh, look at me. I'm a president. Oh, look at me. I'm a candidate. Look at me. I have millions of dollars behind me. Look at me. I have all these Republicans behind me. Look at me. I have all these Democrats behind me. It's a scam. Can't you see it? I dare Obama and Romney to really let it hang out and talk on YouTube with me, arguing against me. Let's debate on YouTube. What's stopping you, Mr. Alleged President, Mr. Puppet Bilderberg President, Mr. Rich Puppet People's President, and Romney, who went to Europe? You know why he went to Europe? Because the statistics show here that it's a dead heat. And Europe can't be sure which one of them are going to be in charge. So they had to talk to Romney to get everything straightened out, because Europe is where the Bilderberg Group is. Just put two and two together, people. You are being scammed. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. Take the blinders off. Sarah Palin got on there and says, you know the difference between a pit bull and a soccer mom? Lipstick. Well, I'm telling you, you know the difference between an idiot voter, a hypocrite, and an idiot politician? Blinders. Okay? Blinders. And that's what you've got. So, at 6 minutes, I've managed to say what probably both candidates hope that they could say. Because you see, the difference between me and them is I've gone through hell. They haven't slept in the streets. They don't know what it's like to be mistreated. They don't know what it's like to have their civil rights violated constantly, every other day or every week or every month, like guerrilla warfare. They came after me. All happening in the city of Los Angeles with that idiot Mayor Vigorosa and the idiot city council and all the idiots that work for the city. One woman just got beat up yesterday. I mean, the cop just jumped on her and slammed her into the ground. Not once, twice. And that was on TV, of course. Police brutality, and Charlie Beck gets on there. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's terrible. We're really going to look into it. You know what? What's wrong with your society, when we all calm down and we're really looking at the facts in capital letters, you need a representative, not a president, not an emperor, not some egomaniac. You need a 100% representative who's the last word in what direction this country goes in. And that's what I'm saying. I don't have a chance of winning the presidential election because the Electoral College bars me from that. But if people would protest across the country, take all their money out of the bank, the country would come to their knees. If you stop buying gasoline for 1 month, or just now until November, the very day the vote takes place, I guarantee you the country will not be able to operate. And you know what will happen? They'll turn to me and they'll say, Caesar, please tell the people to put their money back in the banks. Can we go back to normal? They'll either do that or they'll want to kill me. And I'll say, yeah, I'll tell the people to do that when I am declared emperor, dictator over the Constitution, over the judicial system, over all the executive branch, all three branches, and over every state of the union. We're giving you the power to be the last word, and not without consultation, of course, but the last word in making important decisions that decide the direction of the country and where it's supposed to go. We'll have politicians being able to take, mandatorily having to take a civil service exam before they even qualify running for office. And their grades, just like the postal inspectors who have to take, every postal worker that has to take a civil service exam, that's how they get their job, by the grade that they made. But the difference is here for politicians, since they work with the public so much, their grades will be published too. And then people will know whether they're electing a really, truly intelligent person that can actually do something, or whether we've got a bunch of wannabe smart people that appear to look smart, but they aren't smart underneath. All they're doing is taking us to the cleaners. And it's a ripoff, not across the board, but it's a ripoff on certain individuals in certain classes. Like me. Like other people like me. I dare Obama and Romney to get on YouTube and just let it all hang out. Say exactly what they think. Say what they've said in secret behind closed doors at the Bilderberg meetings. Which, by the way, that's why the media doesn't publish anything about what's talked about in Bilderberg meetings, because this is what you hear. This kind of talk. The kind of talk that people look at and they see somebody ranting and raving and they said, I don't want that person to run my country. I don't want them to be in office. Oh my God, it scares the hell out of people. Of course it would. Until that person, the same ranting and raving, shows out to have so much intelligence that it puts everybody to shame. Like me being able to claim I can stop tornadoes, and I can't. Right in their tracks. Here's Hurricane Isaac. He's going to spawn tornadoes. And then Leon is next. I already predicted 2 more are coming. We're on one right after the other. And that was the day before yesterday. And I even put the time down and everything. And I haven't messed with the time. I haven't changed it. It's the same. But it doesn't matter whether I have to prove it. I told you about the Aurora Borealis. I told you about the invention that I have that can stop any violent mass shootings to take place without being able to stop them. Just like you would want to predict an event of an earthquake before it happens, or you'd want to predict when the hurricane and where it's going. You'd want to predict who's got a bad idea in their mind and where they're going to do it. Now, I'm not saying this is read your mind bit. No, this has to do with actual technology. And, these people are dumb. They have people that are supposedly experts in all these fields, and they're working for them. And the mass shootings and the police brutality and all the things that happen in bits and pieces all over the country still are going on. If their Bilderberg group is so sure that their symmetry is 100% correct, and Rockefeller so sure that his money makes them 100% correct, then why is the economy so screwed up? It's a simple question. Why? If you people have been in charge since 1954, why have you tossed the country back and forth like a ping pong ball? If you ask me, the United States of America is probably the most severely distressed bipolar nation on the whole planet. And at the same time, the most powerful, which, by the way, is a very, very dangerous combination. And I don't have to be a psychologist to tell you this. You people should know better. Instead, I have to struggle every day, wander like a nobody, not making any progress in the last 3 years because the city of Los Angeles violated my civil rights repeatedly, and no one, not the FBI, not anybody, wants to investigate these jerks that took all my prized possessions from me and destroyed and made me make decisions in areas that I should never have made those decisions, that made me lose my stuff, one thing after another, and it's still going on. And I don't see anybody coming to my rescue. I don't see anybody offering me an out somewhere. I have to continue surviving, slowly dying like on death row with broken teeth, which were caused by the stresses that the city, the county, the state, the federal caused on me. For me to grind my teeth every night, even right through my bite guards, because I was so stressed that I could not fight back. And why should I have to fight back? I'm supposed to. All those people buried in Arlington Cemetery are clear representatives of fighting injustice and wrong in World War I, in World War II. And no, it still goes on. Now, if you ask me, and I'm just a nobody, right? I'm a homeless nobody. If you ask me, you're the ones that are sick. All of you, the whole United States needs to be in an insane asylum, being treated with drugs, because you're all nuts. So you think about that. And maybe that's why Jesse Ventura, maybe that's why he has, on his videos, he shows that there's 800 detention centers, they call them, but they're actually concentration camps. 800 that are ready to put people away. People like me. Because I think, and they're scared of me. And the only reason I'm still walking around is because I do these YouTubes, and they're stealing ideas from me right off of YouTube. Oh, believe me, the government pays them good money to listen to my ranting and raving, and they sit there, ignore the ranting and raving, but they take my good ideas. They say, oh, he just slipped. Ooh, look at this. And then they put all those good ideas together, and they get a picture of the whole thing that they need in order to use, so they get credit for it and I get nothing. Oh, I'm not crazy here. You people really need to re-examine yourselves. The middle class, the rich, the poor, you really need to examine yourselves, because you're playing with fire, the worst kind of fire, and you're going to burn yourselves. I guarantee you. Until you get somebody in complete, you put someone in complete absolute authority. I hate to use the word power. Just total, complete authority over all these idiots. You can have your presidential election, Mr. Obama, Mr. Romney, but if the people go to the polls and they tell you, we don't have your money, we've taken all the money out of the banks, we've withdrawn our support, and they put all the support behind me, you're out of a job, all of you, all you politicians. It's just a matter of time. So if I were you, Mr. Obama, Mr. Romney, I would sit down and talk with ABC, CBS, NBC, and I tell them, hey, you know what? Regardless of what the Bilderberg said, we have to debate Caesar. Because if we don't debate him, we're looking more and more like the idiots that we are. That's what they should be saying to themselves, that they are idiots, because they're not debating me. They're losing the opportunity of a lifetime and the inventions that would literally boggle the imaginations of the whole world. And you don't believe that I house that kind of thing? Well, nobody believed Einstein until he came up with E equals MC squared. Nobody believed any of these people, Michael Faraday or Tesla, or any of the brains, Newton, Isaac Newton with the gravity. You know, nobody believed any of those people until they finally started coming up with things that impressed others that were also experts and peers in their field, in their respective fields. But instead of doing something about it, you people are just ignoring it. And that's what's sad. And it's killing me slowly. So you, in fact, are the terrorist, contributing collectively as citizens of the United States, killing me slowly. I mean, at least give me some money so I can leave this country, because you don't have a right to kill me slowly.